I'll introduce Justin Price. Justin is Director of Sales at POS Portal. I'm sure most of you are familiar with him. He is going to be one of our speakers, and Mark and Sean are going to be joining him as well. So Justin, please take over.
Well, thank you, Shobit, and thank you, Mark and Sean, for joining us today. For those attending, we appreciate your time in being here. You know, POS Portal has worked with TouchBistro and Vend for quite some years now, and we've built great partnerships and absolute solid friendships here. And I know Mark and Sean personally, so we're in for a treat today to hear what these guys have to say about their offer out to the payments professionals that are looking to, really drive their business, add more to the catalog that they're, out there selling to their merchants. POS Portal is a partner in this ecosystem. We are, ultimately your place to find, how to grow your business, a place to find not only countertop terminals, but partner value in the types of programs that we're going to present here today. One of the things that we get to do is we get to travel around the country and talk to a lot of people. And in doing that, we also get to listen to a lot of people speak as well, a lot of our industry professionals out there that have their, have their finger on the pulse of what the payments industry is really doing. And that's from the processor standpoint, that's from, the gateway standpoint, the ISO standpoint, the agent standpoint, just really at every level at this, at this time frame, we're seeing folks, generate opinions about what the marketplace is really doing out there. I think what we can all agree upon is that it is evolving, right? The merchants are demanding more of their payments professionals. I've been in the industry for about 13 years now. I spent a decade running a fairly large ISO with lots of field agents and sales directors and lots of deals done every month. And we've certainly seen changes, come through, but in the last couple of years with EMP and some of the new technology with the iOS-based cloud solutions, it's starting to speed up. So reacting to the evolving market, I think it's really important that we bullet a couple of things. Education, knowing is half the battle, so awareness. That's why it's important that you attend webinars like this. Attend your local trade shows. Let's sit in those sessions, listen to what people have to say. Really important nowadays to be on top of technology and some of the changes that are coming down the pipe so you can keep your merchants informed. Informed merchants help build rapport and long-term partnerships. You're going to need partners that support you. You're going to need partners that will help you grow your business, partners that have the same goals in mind as you. You're wanting to, add value to your merchants. Your partners are going to want to do that at the same level, and they're going to want to add value to your business as well. Why partnership wins? Well, we know to scale a business, it can be expensive, it can be time-consuming. The way that we look at it here, you're great at going out and building merchant relationships, building selling teams, driving merchant, processing deals across the line. Your partners can add to that without you having to divert attention away from your core competencies. So partner every step of the game. Partners have gone out and they've built their solutions and they've built efficiency around, really what they do best. And so by adding that efficiency into your catalog, it just strengthens your offer overall. Building a lifetime merchant, what do we mean by that? Building a lifetime merchant starts with relationships. You are their, really their trusted stakeholder out there, keeping track of all the different things that are going on in the payment space around point of sale or any sort of payment transaction. Be top of mind to those merchants. Understand their needs. When you understand their needs, you make relevant suggestions. Those merchants will differentiate you from any of the competitors, and boy, we sure do know there's a lot of them, walking in and talking about, saving dollars on basis points and talking about countertop terminals, which all are still relevant to lots of merchants. But some of your merchants are going to start demanding more. And so, building a lifetime merchant means that you have more to offer when they need it. So, Shobit, if you can change the slide. So if you think about the partner ecosystem,
just a small note there, folks. We've had some people ask questions about the audio. So you have a control panel on the screen on the right side. There is an audio section there. Just click on that. You can dial in from the phone or you can dial in from your computer as well. Just follow the instructions there.
Thank you, Shobit. Yeah, we want everyone to hear the things that we're talking about today. It should be valuable to you. So if we think about the partner ecosystem, we put this together just so there's a little bit of a diagram around how this relationship works. If you look at where your business lies, you've got a direct line to the merchant where you're adding value, and they're providing you with added business opportunities. So you're going to always control the relationship with your merchant. You're going to be the center of your universe. There are other relationships that'll help strengthen that, right? Your processor is one. Oftentimes, your merchant, when they have a question with their merchant statement or something to do with their account, if they're a lifetime merchant and we built a relationship, they're probably going to call you first. That's a great thing. And in this case, where you're partnering, say, with POS Portal and with Vend and TouchBistro, it's probably going to be the same case as well. They will call you first. That's okay. You have support behind you. And over time, they may learn to call POS Portal directly. We're here for them as well. Vend directly, TouchBistro directly. We have great support for your merchants when they need it. But ultimately, if you're the type of business owner that wants to be in the center of all things, you certainly can. And so we will always, ultimately work with you. We will support you in what you're doing, and in that, we will drive added value to your merchants and support them when they need us. So, agenda today. Again, we talked about, Mark and Sean being here. Again, we're in for a treat. These guys really know their stuff cold. They're going to talk through the offer for Vend and the offer for TouchBistro and how easy it is to get started and add this solution set to your catalog. So easy that, by connecting with these guys post-webinar, ultimately you could be out there selling this, these products and services to your merchants, building value there within probably a week's time. And so what's going to happen today on this webinar is all the attendees and all the folks that have questions and all the folks that need more answers or like to move forward, Sean and his team and Mark and his team will be following up with everybody to really provide you the path of next steps to get set up. So today we're going to talk about the revenue opportunity, right? There's going to be a good discussion around that. What to look for in a partner. I touched on that earlier, but these guys are going to do a deep dive in terms of what it means to them. And then the overall impact to the business, right? What does it do for you, the business owner, as a payments professional to provide these types of products and services in your catalog out to your merchants? So if we, without any more hesitation and any more words from me, we're going to bring Sean aboard, and he's going to talk about the revenue opportunity. Take it away, Sean.
Oh, sorry about that. Just a touch of audio issue on our end. So, kick off to the next slide. Yeah. So, really, with the revenue opportunity, when it comes to these partnership programs, it's about being able to stack residual revenue streams and being able to add multiple streams of revenue to the total solution that you're offering your client. So in this slide here, we have payment processing solutions as a key stream of revenue. So obviously earning a residual on the merchant services. But then we have other parts of a total solution that are put in place there. So we have point of sale, accounting, storage, security products and services, cloud hosting. There's a whole suite of options that you have available at your fingertips that you can provide to your end user as a total 360 solution. And you can be earning residuals and potential revenues and spiffs on all of them. So the actual opportunity is in being able to add a total suite of value to your customer, being that value-added reseller to your customer, and provide residuals to yourself and to your business every step along the way. And so here we have what we call the mixed revenue model. And so within here, there's a large section on payment residuals, on reseller residuals in there. There's also the ability to earn referral commissions and services commission. So everything isn't necessarily just a residual that, say, within our SaaS model, Vend and TouchBistro will pay either a one-time fee or a one-time spiff or an ongoing residual based on the revenue that we receive. But there's also the ability to add other services and earn commissions on those services on top of that. So if you specialize within a particular niche, let's say, and you become the industry expert in that niche, you have the ability to create your own products and define your own services and define your own price points for those and stack them all together into a mixed revenue model. And this provides both upfront income as well as passive income that builds over time. So as your account base grows, you're also growing the residual income that you're earning over time. And it's not just payments residual. It's a residual for product A, product B, product C, the whole suite of products that you add to your tool belt. And we'll touch on this in a little more detail later on as we get into some of the later slides. But when it comes to putting everything together, it's being able to make money long-term from your customer base. And so from here, Mark and I are actually going to work in tandem on the next sections here in what to look for from a partner. So to start, as a solutions provider, you pick what you're going to bring to your customers. Oh, sorry, can we go back one slide? Sorry, guys. Yeah, so as a solutions provider, you pick what you're going to bring to your customers. Once you have chosen, we're going to jump into some advice on how to pick the best solutions. Justin spoke about the different products and services that you can choose to offer your customers. So, and I actually just touched on that. You being the expert in your niche, you get to determine which to apply to your current and future customers. Regardless of whether you choose to provide hosting, monitoring, point of sale, or accounting, or any other products or services, you'll want to find the best hosting, monitoring, point of sale, or accounting option out there. And there are a lot of options to choose from, but there are 3 key things that you want to apply across the industry that can help you choose. So I'll let Mark jump in and talk about those 3 key things.
All right, so as Sean mentioned, my name is Mark, and I'm going to be going through those 3 most important things to look for when choosing a partner solution to add to your portfolio. I should mention before going through all these, and actually the latter part of the presentation here, that a lot of the examples and the details that Sean and I are going to be drawing on obviously focus on point of sale, only because that's sort of the industry that we live in. But as Sean mentioned, it doesn't matter what kind of solution you're looking for, whether it's security systems, whether you're looking at managed services. I think these 3 things apply to pretty much any product out there. The first and I guess most obvious one is finding that best-in-class product. Obviously, you guys want to sell the Coca-Cola of what's out there instead of that no-name or maybe that small business that might not be around in 2 to 3 years. You want to sell the best of the best. And the second thing to look at is finding a company that has a strong focus on its channel program. Some companies out there seem to kind of keep their channels at arm's reach, while others like Vend and TouchBistro are actually investing heavily into it. And the third one is finding a company that's going to provide sales and marketing support for you. We feel that a good partner is going to provide you with literally everything you need in order to succeed. Their main goal should be to set you up for success. So while you're assessing a new partner product across these 3 fronts, it takes a little bit of homework, takes a whole ton of questions, but obviously the payoff is there, because at the end of the day, if you're putting your stamp of approval on the product when you're offering it to your customer, of course you got to make sure it's delivered. It's got to deliver, because your reputation's on the line.
So with that said, first up is choosing a best-in-class product. So every company says that they are the best, and most of them probably have customers that think that too. But what you need to concentrate on is the solution that's best for you and how you do business. This means doing your homework, spending the time up front to make sure that the solutions you resell are the right solutions for your customers will save you immensely down the line. Know your customer base and know your target customer base. So with them in mind, there are a few things that we recommend looking into.
All right, so the first thing we feel is a must is looking into the key features that the product has. This is kind of obvious, but it's just good to do all the due diligence. Most companies will have a downloadable PDF that you can get your hands on. You can also find a ton of information all over their website. And actually, most have YouTube channels with a whole ton of videos as well. I know Vend's got some incredible Vend U channel that literally goes through their entire product. So yeah, the key features is definitely something to look at. And I think that another important thing to note is to keep in mind that that kitchen sink product, that product that literally does everything, can sometimes actually fall short on things like usability and the practical applications of those features. The best thing to do is actually consider both. Micros, for example, one of the biggest legacy POSs out there, technically one of TouchBistro's competitors, factually has more features than TouchBistro. But I know for a fact that restaurant owners and their staff can learn and operate TouchBistro in half the amount of time as a micro system. And that's a definite consideration before just making a decision on a complete feature set alone.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that. It's also important that for any SaaS, and when I say SaaS, I mean software as a service solution, which Vend is. So for any SaaS solution, you should try to find out what's on the product roadmap. So a difference is, unlike license-based software, customers will pay monthly for their SaaS subscription and be entitled to new updates and releases along the way. And this happens without any additional fees. So the value to your merchant is not just the product as it stands today, but what it'll look like in the coming months, quarters, and years. Having a view into the future can help you better identify the best solution for your customers.
All right, I'm going to take you through the second key thing to look at in order to finding that best-in-class product, which is getting your hands on the actual solution and taking it for a test drive yourself. Almost all SaaS solutions offer a free trial that you can get your hands on, including Vend and TouchBistro. So definitely jump on it. Search out some of those key features, hit every button in it, see what it does, see how it feels, and ultimately assess, is this something that I can really sell? Obviously, our opinion's biased, but Sean and I both think that it's the choice is pretty clear with our product. And alternatively, most companies that are serious about their channel programs are more likely happy to take you through a product personally. When I do this with prospective partners, I actually use a lot of the word tracks and sort of highlights that I use when I used to be a sales rep at TouchBistro. So anybody I'm taking through a product tour, they can also simultaneously get a sense of kind of how we're selling it, what the culture of sales is behind our product.
Yeah, and to add to that, a good tip for taking part in those demonstrations is always come prepared with a list of things that you really want to see. So if you don't, usually the reps will stick to the high-level script of showing the product in the best light, but they might not give you the depth and insight that you and your customer base need to see. So don't be afraid to ask the hard questions and challenge us if you're going through a product demonstration, because we're more than happy to show the value of the product as it overlaps on your needs.
All right, so the third thing to seek out when you're looking for that Coca-Cola product, that best-in-class solution, is obviously to see what other people are saying about it. Again, obviously, I have a serious bias towards our product. I'm sure Sean does too. But it's always a good idea to find out what the rest of the world is thinking about them. And a good place to start is, customer review pages. Even more so than big name businesses that are using the product, look at what the bulk of their average customers are saying. Both Vend and TouchBistro actually have some really great testimonial videos, some screenshotted right here on the presentation. Unlike other companies that might put out sort of fluffy sounding advertisements about how great their product is, the marketing departments at both of our companies tend to focus more on producing business cases and videos that focus on actual measurable results. So did a product save the time and money? Did it help grow the business? One of our testimonial videos talks about how we increased the revenue on a nightly basis by $2,000 for a restaurant out of Chicago. That's one of 10 examples for us that we have a video on, and one of 100 examples that I'm sure Ben has of success with the customers.
Continuing along those lines, you can also check out online review sites. Places like Software Advice, GetApp, G2 Crowd can give an unbiased insight into what customers think of the product. While on these sites, don't just look at the star rating, read through the good, the bad, the ugly reviews. Everyone says that they have an amazing product and great support, but it'll become obvious very quickly who actually does. And reading through the detailed reviews will help get you a true sense. And as everyone here knows, like, we all have our own businesses, and we know that, I know personally, I go online, if I'm going to write something, it's usually to complain, but as you read through things, you'll see common threads. So if complaints are support heavy, then you know there might be a support issue. If complaints are heavy along a feature set line, then maybe it just wasn't the right product as it was positioned to the market, but you'll be able to understand that by reading through the reviews. Also, same goes for positive reviews, so they do exist. And there are a lot of positive reviews out there, both through the case studies, but online on those review sites as well. And you'll see where people see value in those products and where to position those products to the market.
All right, I'm going to touch on something that's actually kind of overlooked sometimes, or at least I find when I'm talking to prospective partners. As long as you know and you're confident that that solution, customers are happy, they got great reviews, and they have great business cases and all that, it's worthwhile checking out who they're actually partnered with, these third parties. Most of companies like ours, Vend and TouchBistro, they list these on our website. Here, it's listing out all of Vend. The reason why it's good to look at is because if Vend were, a crappy product, Zero Accounting, Deputy, Shopify, some of these massive names would never actually attach themselves to that company unless they actually saw tremendous value in the product and partnering with them. With TouchBistro, you can find that on our partners page. We have actually a lot of the same partners, as well as QuickBooks and Avero and a bunch of others. So anyways, it's definitely worthwhile having a look at the companies that have chosen to actually tie themselves to us.
Yeah, and just to add to that, the other thing you can do with this is you can check to see if there are integrated solutions that you're currently selling or considering selling. For example, at Vend, we have a lot of resellers that are accounting partners, and they started reselling the cloud accounting solution Xero first and foremost, and then they started getting pressure from the market asking for point of sale, and Vend integrates very nicely with Xero, and so by joining our partner program and joining Xero's partner program, they were able to offer a better solution, an accounting and a point of sale solution that talks together. And making a connection like that is crucial as you build the menu of products and services that you would like to resell. And in addition, another good thing for the business is that it makes the solution very sticky. So it might be easy to switch one product in there, but if multiple products are stacked on top of each other and connected together, not only are you earning multiple revenue streams from those products, but it makes the solution so much more sticky, so much harder to change down the road for the client. So you end up with a longer term client as well.
All right, so looking at the second area, or I guess criteria of finding that perfect product, that perfect company to go to market with, I'm going to break down how important the channel, how important it is for that company to be channel focused. Sean and I hear horror stories all the time of prospective partners coming to us saying, I just partnered with this company. They told me a great story at the outset, but then I found out that there's actually only one person working in their channel department, and that person is actually has 3 other jobs. So, hence they're not necessarily going to reply to your emails right away. They just don't have that infrastructure. So yeah, that second key area to assessing whether or not a product or company should be right for you is just trying to read through the lines and seeing if they have something behind their program and if they're investing in it. And do they have a genuine interest in supporting you as a channel partner? People who, the companies that keep their channels at arm's reach aren't necessarily, don't necessarily have this intent. And also, are they going to bother returning your phone calls? Are they going to make sure? Are they willing to do anything to set you guys up for success? I think is really the key. And working with a solutions provider that invests in its channel partner, I think, or I know, will make your job of referring or reselling, however your partnership is set up, so much easier for you, because you have people like myself, Mark at TouchBistro, and Sean at Vend, whose only job it is, our only key metric that we have in our daily lives, in our working careers, is to make you successful. So channel focus is absolutely critical.
Yeah, and so I guess I'll look at how we do that. And first up is training. Partner training programs can tell you a lot about a company, how well they want you to know their product before you start going out with it into the world and speaking to it. Their commitment to their partner training is a good proxy for their commitment to their product excellence. On top of that, do they have different programs to suit your expertise or level engagement you're looking for? In some cases, you may be looking for a reseller relationship where you take on some of the sales, support, and training responsibilities. And in others, you just want to make the connection and send the referral over.
Yeah, and then another thing to note is, although Vend and TouchBistro have partnership programs that don't require any sort of upfront fee for the partner or for folks like yourself, some of them do. And we don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all. There's an upfront fee to join a channel program or partnership program. Some people get the sense that it might be a bit of a money grab, but usually they're charging you something because they're about to dump a ton of resources into onboarding and supporting you ongoing. So, there's also usually trying to weed out some of those companies that are not overly serious about the partnership, or maybe they're just going to dip their toes in without jumping in fully. So approaching a company with a partnership program that has fees isn't always a bad thing.
So training is one thing, ongoing engagement is another. Training isn't like a one and done process. SaaS companies are constantly releasing new updates and features. And so you should look to partner with someone who keeps you abreast of those updates. Things like partner dashboards, newsletters, and especially ongoing enablement materials, make sure that you are well up to date. And then beyond ongoing engagement, transparency is a big issue too. So whether they have full-fledged partner dashboards or not, before you decide on a partner, make sure you understand how they will work with the leads and customers you send them, and how you will be compensated. So having a transparent system for tracking and updating referrals, resales, and commissions is crucial. You want to make sure it's worth your while, and you don't want to be spending hours of admin going back and forth every month, trying to figure out deal statuses and commission payouts. If you end up selling multiple things, this time can really add up. So you really want to make sure that the tools and resources that the partner is making available to you actually makes your life as a reseller or a referral partner easier as opposed to harder.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the final piece of advice we have, the third area of focus that we feel is most important when assessing, what product, what company to throw into your portfolio and go to market with, which is to find a partner that's not only going to invest in, knowledge of their product, not just training, but somebody who's at the end of the day going to help you sell it. I know on a daily basis, my team and Sean's team are on calls all day, helping our partners close those deals. You know, assisting them to handle an objection, or even jumping on a sales call ourselves to help out the partner. But depending on what kind of partnership you have with them, whether it's a reseller agreement or a referral model, they should always be able to provide you with all the tools you need to sell with, be able to help you troubleshoot, you know, obstacles and challenges that you're running into out there. Again, my role, Sean's role, is 100% about that. Or just jump on a call to help advise on, you know, how to reel in that big fish. Or Sean and I are Canadian, so we're always open to jumping on a call to talk hockey as well. But beyond that, it's good to just have that kind of cadence with partners. The other thing to also look at in that last piece of looking for that partner who's going to give you sales and marketing support is access to sales collateral, which is pretty much a table stakes. So ask the solutions partner before entering the partnership what kind of materials they're going to get from you. Also ask them about marketing assets that you can use for throwing on your website, or building out your co-branded material if you want to put something together yourself. And this can actually also help build credibility with your prospects, having some of these big names. I know for a fact that on our website, those big name partners, we love having those on there. I love advertising the fact that, you know, we got QuickBooks and we've got this company and that company that's on our website. It's kind of bragging rights. And I think that goes a long way, considering that TouchBistro is the leading iPad-based point-of-sale solution for restaurants in North America. And likewise, Vend is the leading retail-based POS system in North America. So anyways, just because you brought on a new product doesn't mean you need to start from scratch with building out all those sales materials and marketing stuff. So anyway, find a partner who's that you can lean on to already have all that. It's kind of a plug and play for you. And then the next piece is getting your hands on demo tools. So very rarely is the brochure obviously going to sell a product alone. Another thing to ask the partner is whether or not you can get your hands on a copy of the software, getting a demo license, so that if they are meeting with a customer, you know, they can whip it out of their pocket and put it in the hands of the customer so that they can give it a test drive for themselves. So having those tools to show and tell is key. I've heard a couple of companies that don't necessarily give their partners access to their product, which sounds to us a bit crazy. And for example, TouchBistro allows you to download our software, our point of sale software, for free over the App Store, which any of you guys can do right after this session if you have access to an iPad. And I know Vend's also got a demo account that they give to their partners as well. So that's pretty huge in itself. I'll throw it over to Sean on this next one.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the value in selling benefits and not features. So when looking at the sales tools and enablement materials that a partner can provide, try to look for companies that can focus on benefits and not necessarily the features, even in their own customer-facing marketing materials. It's amazing to talk about all the awesome things that you can do with the software, but for a small and medium-sized business owner, they care about two things: time and money, and how to save and make more of both. So if your partners can give you the tools to quantify the value, or say the return on investment of their solution, you'll be able to demonstrate that to your clients and prospects. For example, at Vend, our partners have access to what we call our ROI calculator, which can estimate how much Vend can increase the business owner's annual revenue based on 5 questions and data from over 20,000 stores that currently use our software. Our partners can give prospects an estimate based on reduced shrinkage, saved admin hours, and other factors. So not necessarily listing off the dedicated features that provide that, but just quantifying the value add that the software provides for our retailers. And these numbers aren't small. It could be $30,000, $50,000 a year. So easily being able to show that through a tool. Finally, sales support. So how can we actually support the channel? Look for a partner that works with you to understand the sales support that you need. So obviously, our partner programs have boundaries. I like to say goalposts, but a good partner will look at you and how you operate your business and how your customers take their customer journey with you and your business, and they'll work with you one-to-one to decide what works best for you and the partner. So that you're fully supported in working within a model that suits you, and you don't have to adjust your business's practices to how the partnership is set forth. If you're selling a couple different services, maybe you don't want to run a demonstration on each software, but you really do want to listen in, and you want to keep on top of the customer experience. Whatever your preference, consider your preferred rules of engagement and make sure that they're clearly outlined with your partners. But most importantly, make sure that you have a partner that's willing to work with you based on how you like to work. So there we have it, our advice on what to look for in a partner. Many of these things we know our partners love about working with us. So a lot of this is driven from our own experiences in market. But mostly, a lot of the feedback is based on what partners love about the impact that the partnership has on their business and their bottom line. So best-in-class product, a channel focus, sales and marketing support. And when I talk about business impact, that lets us jump right into our next section, which I'll send back over to Mark. Yeah.
All right. So arguably, I think this is probably one of the most important slides on Sean and I's end, which is, as Sean mentioned, the impact that all this is having on your business. Why even bother if it's not going to add a tremendous amount of value? Why bother even reaching out to companies like ours, learning a new product, going to market with it? At the end of the day, it really comes down to the dollars and cents, and that's what I want to focus on in this portion here. So here are 4 reasons that you should seek out to find stackable solutions. Find the POS you want to sell. Make sure it's integrated with your processing. Reach out to that other third-party software that solution's integrated with. And just start stacking these on top of each other. So the first is add new revenue streams to your business. Just create money that didn't exist there before. A lot of channel programs allow you to earn commissions from the sales and actually not have to worry so much on the sales process, which, as Sean mentioned, TouchBistro and Vend have a program that takes all of that stuff out of the hands of the partner. So if you guys want to stay focused on selling processing and want to kind of dip into part of the sales, but would prefer to have companies like ours do the heavy lifting, we actually have a program that's designed to do that. So I think ultimately a good partner is going to act as an extension of your sales team and do whatever it takes to support you from the point of introduction right to the close. The other area, or the second area of opportunity, if you want to just flip back to the prior slide there, is increased customer stickiness. And this is actually, a lot of people know about this, especially if you're in the merchant service industry. But when a merchant buys processing that is integrated with the POS, they are much, much less likely to jump off either solution. And we love that about our product, and our partners love that about TouchBistro. In fact, sometimes they'll want to get TouchBistro in there because they know we're not integrated with every processor out there. Therefore, it's going to be less likely that a competing company is going to come in and try to poach up the customer, because we don't integrate. We don't work with that other company. We only work with the partner's company, and the customer ultimately just bought $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 worth in this in this fully integrated solution. So they're much less likely to jump off. The third area is growing residuals. Sean talked a lot about that. Once you've built up that customer base and you just have checks coming in the mail month over month for people that you've sold 2 years ago, and that just starts snowballing, that's when you go get to sit on a beach somewhere and not have to be so reactive every month on getting a single commission off of a sale. And the last area is decreasing acquisition costs. We invest, both Vend and TouchBistro, in enabling training and partner marketing. And this means your teams will be more productive at closing deals and upselling customers. I had a great story that came up just last week where it was a merchant service company that we're partnered with. We're under a referral agreement. They referred it over to us. We did a demo, and one of our sales reps went to go sell them TouchBistro. And they actually were considering a few different merchant processing solutions. And our TouchBistro sales rep was able to actually secure that processing for the partner who passed over the lead in the first place. It's such a good story, because if both products are sold collaboratively by experts in each respective area, then it's a much higher likelihood of a close on both sides. And at this point, Sean and I, this is one of our last slides, but Sean and I actually just have one example each of some success stories that are sort of proving these four things here. So Sean?
So on to the next slide. One of our Vend partners joined our program 6 months ago. And he's a one-man operation, and he's actually focused in providing a couple of different solutions outside of point of sale and even processing. So as he partnered with us, he also started partnering with a merchant service provider and a couple other of those integrations that work with us. And so he already has 9 customers that are using Vend integrated with Vantiv, with 10 lanes across those 9 locations, so 10 mids in there. This means he's earning residuals from Vend, as well as his processing revenue from Vantiv. And in that time, we've invested over $1,500 in funding for him for marketing activities to help him generate new business and for lead generation. And now he's balancing his time between prospecting new business and upselling the other services that he offers. So now he's offering a cloud accounting and cloud storage as well into his existing accounts. And so growing those revenue streams across all of his accounts and new accounts.
And on the TouchBistro side of things, similar to Sean's example, we brought on a partner, I think, in March or so, and we were able to acquire 5 customers in 4 months, which was really tremendous. These are sales for which we wouldn't have had otherwise on both sides. So this is actually a merchant service company, a fairly large one, sales team of about 20, 30. And they were experiencing this, increased pressure in the market to go to market with a point of sale along with the merchant service company. I'm sure the vast majority of the people on this session are aware of this sort of disruption in the industry, where you have some POS companies that are actually offering their own merchant service stuff. Clover is a really great example of one. And for merchant service companies, in order to stay competitive, they kind of have to mimic that and go to market with more value, more products. So anyways, the company didn't necessarily have all the expertise or desire, even bandwidth, to sell a point of sale system as a full-blown reseller for us. So we actually set them up as a referral partner. And it's probably better to say a strategic referral partner, in the sense that it's more of a collaborative sale and not just a cold handoff to us. And when they submitted a lead over to us, one of our sales reps would get on, and generally the merchant service rep would be in the demo, and essentially they tag team together. and right out of the gate came out with 5 new customers in 4 months. And right now, that partner actually, with every single lead they've sent to us, has a 41.6% close rate on every lead, which is astronomically high in context of just the sales environment. So this program, and I know Vend has a program the exact same, are doing exceptionally well.
Yep. So I guess to finish it off, we kind of started off talking about revenue opportunities available for reselling solutions and SaaS and cloud solutions. Hopefully, we've given you some insight into how to choose the best partners. And if point of sale is one of the things you're considering for adding to your offering, Mark and I would love to chat. As alluded to in the earlier examples, both TouchBistro and Vend have specific partner programs designed for Vantage payment dealers and agents. And if you think your customers would be interested in retail or restaurant point of sale, we will give you the training to talk about our product to your prospects, and customers will give you the tools to entice them, and will support you throughout and after the sales process. As well as introducing new revenue from our programs, will also help protect your processing revenue. So our products being sticky together helps protect the processing revenue from moving to your competitors. So yeah, with that, I'd love to open it up to questions, and don't hesitate. Our contact information is up there to get in touch with us at any
And this is Mark at TouchBistro. I just want to add on something else. You'll see a couple of emails at the bottom here. We really want to make sure that we spend a good amount of time being able to reply to any requests if you do end up talking to us. And I think our websites have some submission forms here and there and all that. Sean and I would love to chat. If you would too, just shoot us an email at one of those 2 addresses there. And thanks on the TouchBistro side, and really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Mark. That was really informative. So, folks, we're open for questions right now. Like I said at the beginning, please start chatting them in, and we already have a few questions, so we will start answering them. And I think we have 10 more minutes left on the clock here. So without wasting time, Justin, you want to start with the questions?
Yeah, we have one from Scott here, which really, as you guys, trailed off there. How do I get started? What steps do I need to take? Ultimately looking for, you've got an email address. Is there a phone number that they could follow you up with?
Absolutely. Both TouchBistro and Vend can provide a direct line to call into. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not listed on here, but if you shoot us an email, then we'll get back to you very, very quickly. And we can always provide those numbers after the session as well if you want to be able to pass that out in a follow-up email.
Yeah, if you send a follow-up recording, we'll have our direct lines sent out to everyone.
Absolutely. And guys, for attendees, POS Portal will be sending a follow-up email out with contact information for everybody as well. So next question we've got, let's see. In real dollars, how will this impact my business? This is from Jim.
In real dollars, how does it impact your business? So
that's correct.
From Vend side of things, we have 2 programs that earn residual income. We tend to do quarterly SPIF programs, promotions, accelerator programs based on the volume of business that we're doing together. Vantive has promotional offers that they offer as well for mids that are brought online in tandem with our software. So in real dollars, I mean, over the first couple of deals that you can do, you could have anywhere from, I believe there's promotion for $1,000 on the first 2 Vend Vantive deals that close, and then from there you'll get 10% ongoing residual for the lifetime of the client from Vend. And Vend will take care of all of the ongoing support as well as the boarding of the client into our software. So realistically, you don't need to actually do a lot on your end. You can rely on us to do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to positioning the product, the Vend product, and handling objections. But what we're really looking for is a collaborative approach where the customer is getting the value from you, so that you are their resource and they're turning to you as the point of contact to make sure that the whole solution is taken care of. We want to make sure that our channel succeeds as the value provider alongside of us, and we want to make sure that all of our tools are in there to do that.
And on the TouchBistro side, I'll be super direct. I just finished writing a check for $2,700 for one of our referral partners, actually a merchant processing dealer, for sending over 5 leads that have actually closed within a 60-day period. So that was a check for $2,700 just for bringing up TouchBistro with the merchant, maybe selling a bit of that sizzle and sending it over to us so that we could sell the steak and secure the processing for them or evangelize for it.
Good point.
Thanks, guys. We have another good question. I think it's from Christian Mighty. Christian's trying to find out how are your businesses handling the recent QIR requirements and remote installations? Mark, maybe you want to take that? Yeah.
Did you say QIR requirements?
That's right, yes.
That's a good question, actually. I'm not actually familiar with what that is. It's probably something that's being handled by our CTO or probably our lead technician. But
no worries. So what we'll do is, sorry.
Are you talking? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. Are you talking in relations to like the new QIR on PCI?
I believe yes.
Yeah. So with our software specifically, because we're not actually we're not taking part in the merchant services aspect. We're not looking for a cut of the merchant services residuals or anything like that. So the way our software talks to say the payment terminal is through what's like a semi-integrated connection. Yeah. So we're kind of outside of the PCI scope with our softwares, both with TouchBistro and with Vend. We're not seeing the client's credit card information within our software suite. So when it comes to PCI compliance, it's part of the in hands on the delivery of the merchant service provider.
I think I believe I think that partly answers the question. This also has to do with the QIR certifications that dealers and installers need to have before they can actually go in and install devices. So what we're going to do, Christian, we will take this offline, and we will make sure that we get you a response to the question. Next one, we have Ray. Ray Iliante has actually asked quite a few questions. Let's take the first one. I know we only have 3 more minutes. I will just answer that as a yes. The question was, do you have an API to integrate with other software? So yeah, I think that's a yes. The second one is, do you have Wi-Fi pay at the table pin pads for EMV? Mark, again,
that's absolutely
I believe
correct. You. Yeah, we have that with our partners, Vend Payments, which is one of our preferred partners, and we also have that with another big partner called Cayenne Payments.
And from Vend side of things, so kind of similar for the retail environment, not necessarily pay at the table, but we do have merchants out there that provide more of a concierge selling service. So they actually walk the floor with clients, helping, direct the buyer journey. And we have options where those terminals operate over Wi-Fi. They're portable alongside of the selling device, and they can collect payments wherever the customer decides to purchase in the buying environment.
Great. Next question, Kevin Piccolo. This is actually a pretty important question. Question is, what is the processing revenue share percentage?
Sorry, what's the processing revenue share? So we actually, I'll let Mark answer that.
So when one of our partners sells a merchant processing solution, TouchBistro and Vend, being simply POS companies, or just a bunch of POS people, we don't touch any of those residuals. 100% of that goes to you. We just want to sell a POS and make money off of our software subscription for that. But you guys make all that money on the processing. There's no split on our side.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks, guys. One more question. Todd is asking about the demo version. So the question is, are the demos full version functionality for resellers or just a limited capacity for a certain time period?
Yeah, on the Vend side of things, full functionality for resellers. So we'll give you a fully functional account. You can build a history in there. You can have a full feature set to display.
Yeah, and on TouchBistro's side, if you download the software for free, you'll have access to everything. You won't have access to the cloud reporting, which is a really neat aspect of TouchBistro. But we'd love for you to get in touch with us through that email or phone there, and we'll give you access, and we'd love to give you a tour as well of it.
All right, last question here before we close out. Mitch is asking, does TouchBistro or Vend have a white label solution? And Mark and Sean, before you answer that, I can probably take that a little bit. You know, about 4 years ago, the iOS cloud point of sale system, industry really started to take off. We did see a lot of partners out there that offered white label solutions. And I think, from our perspective and the relationships that we've had with many of the folks, the payment processing professionals, we saw that, kind of rise and fall quickly. And I think, to the point that was made earlier, the identification of partners and association of big brands that have baked programs and that, have thousands and thousands of deployed merchants and, out there, basically brand awareness and brand reputation. I think, the path that we're seeing most resellers take, if not all resellers take at this point as the market evolves. And again, keeping in mind that there's lots of things to go sell to your merchants, keeping in mind that a partner, riding on the partner brand or riding alongside the partner brand really is the go forward strategy here for tablet point of sale. That could be a great debate about that, and there's certainly some points, that would be to the contrary. But from what we've seen from the POS Portal side, and we talk to thousands of payments professionals every single week, through our bulk equipment channel and also through partnerships with, Vend and TouchBistro and others, that, really the shared brand, in a sense, creates the strongest market offer.
Yeah, and I think Sean and I both agree. You hit the nail right on the head with that one.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it, and POS Portal will be in touch with all of you that have attended today. We really appreciate it. Remember, our market is evolving, and those of you that are taking proactive steps will be right on the forefront, and we'll grow your business at a great rate. And so, Sean, Mark, thank you for your insights today. Excellent job in explaining really a full circle of functionality, feature set, and efficiency that both of your solutions really bring to the table for reseller partners. And again, everyone attending, we know your time is extremely valuable, so it means a lot that you were aboard with us here today. Thank you, everybody.